proceed. So allow me to get started. Today, we're here to discuss how to make 2024 your best year ever. And I will tell you this, my journey when it comes to goal setting, personal development, focusing on my own personal growth and seeing what is possible for me started a bit, I think 2014, when I bumped into Darren Hardy, who is my mentor. And I did consume a lot of his content, both on YouTube, on different channels. He actually has daily mentorship where he sends us videos. And I also read some of his books, and it was mind-blowing. And I was really surprised how much I was able to achieve the things that I had set to do. Probably in a year when I say I will do this and do this, and come December, I'm able to say I'm at least there 80% or 90%. While others are complaining these New Year resolutions don't work, these things don't work. And I really took my time to dive into this concept of personal development and goal setting. So the first book that really opened my eyes from Darren Hardy was the book, The Compound Effect. Jumpstart your income, your life, your success. And I started applying it and it worked. Then I bumped into another book. Now, when you're in that space of personal development, you'll get to see so many of these books. There's this one, Your Best Year Ever by Michael Hyatt. And it gave me even more ideas and insights on how I can be more focused on my goals and actually achieve more at the end of it. And then there was this other book or workbook called The Year Ahead, which now helped me to put things down and monitor and track. And based on the knowledge that I've gained, not only from these three books, but other books, that is what I am going to share with you. And actually, I have distilled it to a workbook called Conquer the Year Ahead, Make the next 12 months your best year ever. And if you're really excited and you'd want to get, by the way, I'm going to give this book for free. I will give it for free. Some of the information that I have put into this presentation, actually they're from this book. So when I post some of the questions or when I ask you to write something, don't worry, you can be able to get this workbook 100% free. Just write this down, careerpoint.co.ke/free book. You can download it now or later and fill it up. But just to know, focus, just take notes, be invested in this session, and then you can download, and it will take you about 2 hours, 3 hours for you to take your time to reflect as you write that. So having laid that introduction right there, my question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready? If you're ready, let me know that you are ready. I saw someone say, yeah, she's ready. Mercy, thank you very much. Or following us on Facebook, you're saying you're ready. I'm really happy. Eric on LinkedIn, you're saying you're ready. Mohammed saying, hi, are you ready for this session? Oh, this is great. Yeah, very ready for the mentorship. Thank you very much, Daniel. Keep them coming, keep them coming. I think there's some sounds here. Let me mute this. Yeah, keep dropping. I know sometimes there will be some delay in terms of the time you post and the time I read, but that is technology, a few seconds, a few minutes. But I'm happy that you're here as we proceed. So let's get into the thick of things. The first part where you get started is for you to start by reviewing your past year. I am a great believer that when you sit down and think through, reflect on what has happened last year, it will give you some insights on what you're good at, what has worked as you pursue, as you go forward. Go through your last year, your calendar, your diary. I also learned another technique this week. Actually, go through your phone, yeah, the photos, the camera rolls. You'll be able to see what happened in January, what happened in February, yeah, week by week, month by month. Write down any highlights or important events, family gathering, friendly get-togethers, reunion, projects, parties, anything that really stood out for you. And I remember doing this exercise this week, and I used the camera roll as a log to see what has happened. I was surprised to see how much I've been able to do this year. I saw that, yes, I went to Mount Kenya. I'll talk about that. And most of you, if you've been following me through the LinkedIn or you've been following by a new podcast that I have, you must have heard me talk about that. I was also surprised that we did have a, what we call it Parents Day. There's a group that I'm in where we called our parents, we brought them together, we cooked for them, they got lunch, some nyama choma, and these are boys that we brought the families and the parents together, and it was a great thing for me. I really like that, and you will be surprised how much you will be able to see in terms of your role. The other thing, I would want you to have highlights on these 10 areas. Yeah, I want you to write down what are your highlights in your spiritual domain, your connection with God. What are your highlights when we talk about your intellectual domain, your engagement with significant ideas, books, courses, seminars, whatever thing that you have engaged in, personal development, and even professional development. In the emotional domain, what are your highlights when it comes to your psychological health? What are your highlights when it comes to your physical body or your physical health? By the way, as I said, one of the highlights, and I can interconnect, was number one, I was able to climb Mount Kenya. And before I did that, this is now in my physical body, or body health. It was a means of staying fit. We did several mountains or hills. We did Mount Longonot, we did Gog Hills, we did Elephant Hills as we prepared for it. Another thing in my physical or body health, I did 2 marathons. I actually ran 2 marathons. That is the City Marathon, 21 kilometers, and Stanchart Marathon, 21 kilometers. And funny enough, after my Stanchart Marathon, I had a back injury and it really pained me. I had to go to the hospital. I really strained. And that has been a highlight. And I think about it. And think about it on the night of New Year's Eve. I think I was out there dancing. I forgot about my back. And by morning, my back pains were already there. Because the injury was about in October, when we did the Stanchart. But that's the highlight. What's your highlight? Your marital domain, if you have a spouse or a significant other. Any highlight? Parenting, as a parent, for me, big highlight. My second born daughter graduated from PP2. Now she's going to grade 1. That's a big highlight. My firstborn son just turned 10. Two figures. Yeah, it's quite interesting. 10 years. Yeah, and such. Social domain, your friends, relatives, workmates, business associates. What are some of the highlights that you have there? Vocation, your profession, your career or business. A vocation, your hobbies, fun, pastime. This year, I wanted to have at least 2 mini holidays and big holiday maybe in December. But the highlight for me was that I wasn't able to have the mini holidays, like a weekend out with my family. One, because the school timetable wasn't really aligned with my work. So when the kids are at home, probably I'm busy at work. When they're in school, that is when I'm free or I'm on leave. So, but I'm planning to do something about that next year. And another highlight I want you to write about last year. We're still thinking about last year, your financials, personal and family finances. How are things for you? For me, I wasn't really able to save as much as I wanted. If you live in Kenya, taxes went up. I've been earning less, not because the employer decided to cut down my salary, but more taxes and so many other things. For you, what are some of the highlights in that domain? So think about that, And I'm glad to see more people joining us. Where Mercy, I can see is such any group for girls parent, or is there any group for no, I don't know. I can tell you about this group. These are boys, these are guys that we grew up in. Most of them, we went to the same primary school. We met maybe some in after high school or in high school, but then we had a group that we used to go to do what we call magnet theater, acting in the streets and stuff. So we formed a very tight group. These are boys, and then we said, why not appreciate our parents? So I don't know about girls, but maybe you can think about, can you have a reunion of your friends in high school, primary, or something of that sort. Yeah. Thank you very much, Alex. You're saying very interesting, and thank you for coming in. I'm really happy. May Queen, you're saying you're joining us all the way in Ghana. This is quite interesting. And I know we do have more comments coming in from LinkedIn. It's only that not all of them normally show up on the platform that I'm using. So I will try and see if I can be able to be switching tabs to see if you're there on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, don't worry, just comment. I'll be able to pick up on your comments. Moving on. So let's talk about, so those are the highlights. Also complete these sentences. This will help you really reflect on how last year was. Number one, how would you complete this sentence? The wisest decision I made was, the biggest lesson I learned was, what is the biggest lesson that you learned? Yeah, the biggest risk I took was, actually, when I was trying to answer this question for myself, I wasn't sure if I've really taken any risk this year. And I don't know if that is a good thing or it's a bad thing, but it was just, as I said, way of learning from the past and saying, are things as you expect? Yeah. Another question I want you to complete would be, I am most proud of. What are you most proud of? What do you think about last year? What are you proud of? Yeah, think about that. Think technology here. Where am I? Good. I am most grateful for. What are you most grateful for? I think I have several things to be grateful for. And I want you to really be specific in terms of not just say, I'm grateful for life, I'm grateful for good health, which is good. I'm not, but how can you be very specific and say, I'm really grateful? For example, oh, by the way, I took a risk. I did some coaching. I took up a coach. I signed up. It was, yeah, it's a bit of money I put in. I started being coached. And I'm really proud or grateful because of that coaching relationship led to me being connected with someone else who we collaborated last year. We talked about YouTube. We did a YouTube masterclass, and it was quite great. So I'm really grateful for that. The best thing I discovered about myself. Now, this is quite interesting. And coming for me, you see, I am that person who talks about goals, being motivated, and going for what you really want. But I was what I learned about myself is that sometimes I really get down, I feel demotivated. But when I read a good book, when I watch good training with some inspiration and things that I can take action on, I really get back to my game and I feel inspired, fired up, and I do things. I guess that is something I've learned about myself. In the beginning of the year, I signed up for a certain challenge by Pedro Adeo, really psyched me up. Towards the end of last year, I actually watched a video about marketing and AI, really fired me up, and I got back to my regimen of creating content, which was quite interesting. Yeah. And I really like that. So I like that about myself. So I look for more opportunities to be motivated. I was not able to accomplish or complete. What did you plan, but you didn't manage to complete? And the biggest challenge you faced what was the biggest challenge that you faced? For me, I would say business was really tough the last quarter. I think almost the last half. When taxes went up, people were no longer spending as much as they would have, and even breaking even. In my podcast, DM with DM, that is Daily Motivation with Daniel Mutuku, I talked about how I was scared the fact that actually December, I wasn't sure if I was going to break even or even pay the bills and salaries and stuff. So that is one thing I would say that was one of the biggest challenge. And having said that, you need now to bid last year goodbye. Write down anything, anybody, anything, everything, good or bad, that you'd like to say goodbye to. Because it is that time now that you release the past. It has happened, either it was good or bad, and now you want to embrace the future. Yeah, we don't use our past as a whip to keep on putting ourselves down and beating ourselves down, but we use it as stepping stone to get into the future. Hope you are getting value. So far, are you getting value out of it? If you are, feel free to drop in some thumbs up, yeah, or something. I can see, Eric, you're saying, I have just gone through my investor statement and I have been losing bets. Yeah, I think that is a good thing for you to reflect on and ask yourself, is that something then I would want to continue doing? Yeah. By the way, let me tell you, the whole betting industry, it always wins. And that is why it is there and it continues being there. You will never beat the house. The house always has some edge over you. And you might lose or win here and there, but on the long run, if you, as you say, check your statement, you realize I'm losing more than I'm gaining. So it's good to do the reflection. Alan Obuya, I can see you on LinkedIn. You're saying you're joining us from Kenya. Alex on LinkedIn. Vincent on LinkedIn. As I told you, LinkedIn doesn't seem to be pulling all of them. Ezra, you're saying you're ready. Nixon, I thank you. Juliana Mwaora, Maximila Cavera. Oh, good. Thank you. There's John. Oh, there's so many people on LinkedIn. So do not stop commenting or even sharing if I haven't gotten to your comment. Are we good so far? Are we getting value? By the way, let me check in. I like always checking in. Are you getting value out of this session? Is it something that you say, thankfully, I took my time to actually come and go through and listen to this training on how to make the best year ever? If so, give me some thumbs up or say you're getting value, you're feeling motivated, you're feeling inspired to progress. That's the only way I can know that we're making progress. So as you drop that in the comment, let me continue and say this. So we are using our past to learn from it, not to beat ourselves down. But now, based on that, we can think of the future and use whatever we have learned as a stepping stone. So moving forward, now I want you now to think about the year ahead. What do you need to do? Hopefully you have come across this idea of setting SMART goals. Yeah, a goal which is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. It's a great model to follow, and I encourage you to set such a goal. But I also want to stretch your mind or thinking a little bit further and ask you, why not set smarter goals? Now, this is from the book, The Best Year Ever by Michael Hyatt. And actually what he talks about is having a goal which is specific, measurable, and instead of saying achievable, why not talk about an actionable goal? And I like the fact that if you set an actionable goal, it means that you have the capability of taking some actions and making something happen. You have the ability to take some action and make something happen. And that is it. And that then let it be relevant, time-bound or time-kid, but also exciting. I think that is the other thing. I've found out if I'm doing something that I'm not really excited about, I don't put all myself in, or I'll do it for the purpose or because I need to do it, but I will not be fully sold in. But if something that really excites you, then that gives you the fuel to keep on going. And also a goal which is risky. Don't just say something that is attainable. How can you really push it to be a bit risky to the fact that if you really achieve it, you will say, oh, was totally outside my thinking that I could do something like this. So I want you to think about setting a smarter goal. Moving on, I would say this. There are two concepts that would be very important when you're setting that SMART goal or the smarter goal. Number one, you need to answer the question, what is it that you want? What? Answer what is it? Lose weight, earn money, stop smoking, stop drinking, start a family, whatever it is. Then, when you're answering the question, what, I also want you to be very specific. Like, put some number to it. I want to earn 10,000. I want to save 10,000, 100,000. I want to lose 10 kgs. I want to be very specific. Don't just be vague and say that, you see, when you say I want to save, that is good, but it's still vague. I want to grow. and to have personal growth. Yeah, that is good. But how specific can you be? Then once you have answered the question, what is it that you want? And you're very specific on it, put a time to it. I want to have earned or saved this amount by December 31st, by July 20th. I want to join or go back to school and sign up for this course by February this date. Time bound. When you put a deadline on a goal, it gives you extra pressure for you to try and make it happen by then. Procrastination, on the other hand, likes vague goals, no time frame, so that you can say, I'll do it, I'll go back to school, I'll go to the gym, I'll lose weight, I'll do that. Because there's no time bound, you can stretch it forever. And as you think about that SMART goal, I want also to set expectation in these 10 domains again. What expectation do you have for your spirituality? What expectation do you have for your intellectual domain? Emotional, psychological health, physical, marital, parental. If it applies, it doesn't need to be social, vocational, avocational, and financial. These are the same things that we reflected on what has happened to us last year. But now, probably you really didn't think about some of these domains as you were living or just going on with last year. But now I want you to be very intentional when it comes to this coming year. Say, this is what I want to happen in my spiritual space. I have to be more connected to God. Actually, that was my goal last year, or my expectation, to be more connected with God, to attend Sunday services. I'm born again Christian. I wanted, by the way, something interesting. One of my expectations was to go to the Bible study at least 12 times. That is once a month. I ended up doing almost weekly. I think I missed 4 or 5 weeks the whole year. So yeah, I did put some expectation. So I want you to do that. Don't feel a lot of pressure that you need to write all this or get all this content. As I told you, I have a free book, the free workbook, which I'll be sharing with you, where you can be able to download it. In the coming year, I want you to complete these sentences. The top 3 things I want to achieve the most this year are, can you really distill your expectation to the top 3? Like, if those are the only things that happen in your life for 2024, you'll be the happiest person. I will do 3 things every day. I will do these 3 things every day. Let me pause here and tell you this. One of the things that I have learned about success is you can only be successful if you decide to do something and break it down to the smallest possible action to a point where you can do it every day. Let me try and explain it. I know many people will oppose me on this, but when it comes to, let's say, weight management, and yeah, you want to manage your weight and you want to be fit, it's good. You can go to the gym, but what happens in January? Gyms are full. People sign up. They want to go there 3 times a week, and it works for some people, but it doesn't work for some people. But I can tell you this. What if you just break it down and say, what is the minimum thing you can do in terms of your exercise that you can do every day? It might be difficult for you to go to the gym every day, but is it possible for you to do like 10 sit-ups or 10 skip rope 10 times, at least every day? It is that small thing that you can be able to do every day. Every day, I'll do sit-ups, I will jump, I'll skip rope, I will press ups, or whatever. 10 of them every day. And you can see a much bigger difference than going to the gym 2-3 times a week. And I'm not saying gyms are bad. If that is what works for you, go ahead and do it. So think about and say, I will do these 3 things every day. What are those 3 things? I will stop procrastinating on, because procrastination is one of the biggest saboteurs when it comes to success. And it will steal what you're capable of because you keep on procrastinating. There's an episode coming soon. Probably I'll record today, actually. I'll record today and post it on the podcast, DM with DM, Daily Motivation with Daniel Mutuku. And I'm talking about procrastination. What are some of the strategies that you can use to stop yourself from procrastinating? I'm looking forward to you listening to that podcast. By the way, if you haven't signed up, just go to my YouTube channel, Daniel Mutuku, subscribe, and you'll be getting notification on every videos and podcast that I post out there. I will always say yes to. Now, sometimes opportunities show up in a way that we don't expect. And if you look from your past, you can see where the opportunities were coming from. And you can say, I will be saying yes to this kind of things. But at the same time, I want you to think about, what are you going to say no to? And this is much difficult rather than yes. But when you decide in advance that this is what I'm going to say no to, it becomes an easier decision when that thing comes. I'll tell you this. Yesterday, I was going through the same exercise and thinking, what am I going to say no to? Or what am I going to stop doing? And guess what? I decided I am going to stop picking other people's monkeys, as I like calling them, or emergencies, and making them mine. The way someone calls you and say, oh, there's this thing, I really need to do it. I need your help. Can you do it for me in the next 1 hour, in the next 2 weeks? I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I will not take your monkeys. I will not take your emergencies to be my emergencies. I had a plan. You can come and ask me, and I can do it within reasonable time. But I don't need to drop everything just to take care of your emergency or your monkeys. Mind your own monkeys. So that is one of the things that I said I will say no to. Hopefully you can join me on that. I will celebrate my small wins by, you see, one of the things that really fuels or inspires people is when you take time to celebrate even the small wins. And if you're broken down your goals to that small tangible thing that you can do every day, you can actually say, I can celebrate when I do 10 press up 7 days of the week in a row, and then celebrate. But of course, you don't celebrate by going out and eating junk food, yeah? You're taking that, those chips and donuts, and again, you are undoing what you have done the 7 days. I will surround myself with, who are you going to surround yourself with? It is said, you are an average of the 5 people that you hang around with. If you're hanging around 5 broke friends, guess who is the 6th broke person? If you're hanging around 5 successful people, guess who is the 6th successful person? I will let go. What are you going to let go? There's some things that you have been doing over and over. They haven't been bringing the results for you. What are you going to let go? Sometimes some relationships, you have to let them go. Sometimes it's some jobs that you have to let go. Sometimes it's some habits that you have been doing, you have to let go. Once you've done that, it's important for you now to think about an action plan. Because I'll tell you this, a goal without a plan is just a wish. And it will continue being a wish. So you need to create a plan. So far, I'm getting value out of this, by the way. Let me check on it. I like checking on my students. Oh, Eric, in Forex trading, somewhere I can, is Forex trading somewhere I can risk on? I don't know. I am not an expert in that space. So I wouldn't say yes or no, but do your due diligence and think about what would work for you. Judy, thank you very much. I can see you say you're ready. I really appreciate that. Let me try and check on LinkedIn. I know LinkedIn, more and more people are coming in. Marwa, Nicholas, Wilson, I can see you there. Wilson, Getche, Mwangi. Are you getting value out of this? Let me know about that. Okay. Now the comments here are mixed up. Let me try and get the most recent ones. Yeah. A good one. Joshua, I can see. It's only that I can't pull it out. I guess I can. Eric, avoid. Okay, this is some advice that you're giving to Eric. Let me just post it here and read it. I think it is easy. So, Eric, you're getting some advice from Joshua and Jericho. Yeah. And this is what he's saying. Eric, avoid betting by all means this year and focus on your growth. I'm glad you have accepted that last year you lost a lot of money there. You will not get stable by taking shortcuts. Say no to betting. Or Thank you. Thank you. That was Joshua. Thank you for that piece of advice. And I think that is a place where he can start and say, I'll say no to this. Yeah. Duncan Otieno, you're saying you're ready. Thank you. Are you finding value out of this session? I really appreciate. Oh, this is a good one. This is from Dennis Oseko. Let me just copy and paste it again here. It is easy for me to put it here. Invest in your career, spiritual growth, and other areas. Now this is the continuation. Say no to betting, invest in your career growth, spiritual growth, and other areas of growth that has been pointed out. I really appreciate that. Thank you for that. I guess I can easily just copy things from LinkedIn, post it here for me to be able to read them. I think that is what seemed to be working. So this is from Dennis Oseko on LinkedIn. So this is what you say. The wisest decision was started business. So that was the greatest. Okay, good. Biggest lesson was time changes and we should embrace ourselves for tomorrow. We should brace ourselves for tomorrow. Okay, good. Biggest risk was that the decline of parallel transfers. I'm proud of my mentoring young trainees. I'm grateful for good health. Oh, that is good. That is good. Thank you very much. By the way, if you're finding it a bit of a challenge, you're not able to post, because I'm sure on LinkedIn, or if you're following on YouTube, that would be the easiest place. You can type all that and let me get it. Yes, I am ready. Sure. Thank you. Let me try and see if I can get the link and then post it on LinkedIn so that you can follow me on YouTube. It's much easier that way. So I don't need to keep on. Now things are not working on this side. Just a minute. Okay, where are things? Where are things? Anyway, so on LinkedIn, I've posted. It's easier for you to follow. So check the recent post I've put on LinkedIn and follow me on YouTube, and then you can be able to post them there. You can post them there. Are we okay? Are we okay? Let's get going. Let's get going now. I think I've done a bit of some housekeeping. Moving on now. So we are saying a goal without a plan is just a wish. So this is how it works. First, you start with a goal. You set the goal. Hopefully, you have started thinking about some of the goals that you're going to set. Then you create a plan on how to achieve the goals. So setting goals is not the end, yeah? Just think about it. Number 3 is work on the plan. Stick in there and finally you reach your goal. So it does not just happen by magic. And the most important thing is for you to take action. I want you to take action on your goals. I want you to take actions on your goals. That is where you will get the highest value. So how do you take actions? This is what I call a weekly rhythm register, and it will help you create an action plan to achieve your goals. So basically, it is just a table which outlines your actions and behaviors. So on this column here, you will write actions and behaviors. But before you write the actions or the behaviors that you want to accrue, you write your goal. On the first column, write your goals. So this is an example. If you decide one of my goals is that I want to earn extra 10K each month. Like our friend who started a business, you can say, that is my goal. I want to at least get an extra 10K. Someone else will say, my goal is to weigh 55 kgs by December or March 31st. So here you can see you're very specific, you know what you want, and it is time bound. So at the end of the month, you can know, did I get the extra 10K or not? By March 31st, you can step on that weighing scale and say, yeah, this is the weight that I wanted to be in, right? So once you have written your goals, below each goal, write specific actions that you're going to take to achieve that goal. And this is how it might look like. If you want to earn extra 10K and you're running a business, you say, I'll make more sales calls. I'll engage people on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. You can say, I will go attend networking events. Then if your goal is weight based, you can say, I'll go to the gym, I will run, I'll do some exercise. So you have written your actions, and then on this column here, there's the target. Write a target for each action. Like when you say, I want to make calls, how many calls do you want to make at the end of the week? Say 10. How many people do you want to engage? 1,000. How many networking events? 1. Going to the gym, 1 hour. So you have very specific numbers or targets that you have. Home exercises, I'll do 2 hours. Then from there, each day, record your progress. On Monday, ask yourself, how many did I make? How many calls did I make? 2. How many did I engage? 50. Networking event, I didn't go to any. Gym, no. Run, maybe 0.5K. And it's just a matter of recording. It will take you less than 5 minutes. Just before you go to sleep, write them and say, this. And by the end of the week, you will have something that looks like this. You have filled up the whole week. You can now do the totals. And once you tally the total, you can start comparing how the total look like and your targets. Are they corresponding? You can see I targeted 10, got 11. So maybe I would say, oh, maybe I was really, now I can make a comment. So you're making a comment here to improve. And the comment here should be, I targeted 10, I did 11. So possible, even can I target 15 calls next week? But when you look at going to the gym, at least going to the gym, I did 1 hour. But running, I targeted 5 kilometers and I ended up with 1.5 kilometers. So instead of setting myself up for failure next week, I might say, why not target to run like 2 kilometers or even 1 kilometer? I realize it's not as easy as I planned. And now you're making this comment and you're making informed choices, getting into week number 2. So you don't need to wait until another week, right? So that is how important that is. Do you see how this tracking system can change your life? Do you see how it can? If so, let me know. Let me keep on checking on the comments. And by the way, you can download this for free. There's a free worksheet on how you can be able to download that. Oh, I can see engineer, you're saying following in Kenya. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So let me go. I think time is going. I want by 8:30, I'll be out of here. I don't want to take more of your time. Do you guys do to-do list? So you find that you end up writing, this is my to-do list. If you do to-do list, I want to suggest to you, why not have a not to-do list? Where is it coming from? When you look at the to-do list, are they activities that are going to help you achieve your goal? If not, then put them in the to-do list and don't do them. Yeah, it is that radical. Don't do what is not helping you. What I've shared with you, so easy. The question is, can you do it? Yes, can you do it? Let me know. Can you do it? Just drop that in a comment and say, can you do it? Yeah, I know you can do it. But now the big question is, will you do it? Will you do it? Can you do it? Yes. Will you do it? Maybe. And when you really weigh, depending on what I call willpower, I can do it, I can do it, I will do it. It's good to rely on willpower. But I want to tell you this. From research, it has been shown that willpower fades as the day goes by. Willpower fades. Chances of you sticking to a maybe plan, an exercise plan or a diet in the morning is very high because your willpower battery is full. By evening, when you're tired, things are not working. Chances of you sitting down and just eating those junk food is very high. So don't really rely on willpower. Willpower has its place. Don't rely on it fully. I want you or to introduce you to another power that will make the difference, and that is called the why power. When you understand why you're doing what you're doing, even the toughest days become easier. When you understand your why, your goals take a different meaning, a whole new meaning. I remember having coached several people, and I asked them, why do you think, why do you want to go for this job? Why are you looking for this kind of job? And when they realize it's because they want to provide a secure future for their families, once they go deeper and really understand why, they are able to do things that they were not able or possible, thought it was possible for them, because why drives you faster. So I want to do a small game as we finish up. Yeah. So I want to give you 1 cent that doubles every day for that 1 days. On the other hand, you can pick 1 million in cash. What would you go for? Drop in the chat. Either 1C, that is 1 cent that doubles every day for 31 days, or 1M. What would you go for? Hopefully, our comments don't let us down now. Yeah. Or let me just make you a very good deal right away. Yeah. I want to give you 1 cent that doubles a day, doubles every day for that 1 days, or 3 million in cash. What would you go for? So I want you to comment. Do you want 1C or 3M? Post in the comments, yeah? And I'll show you, we'll do this simple exercise. 1 cent that doubles every day for 31 days, or 3 million cash money. You can do whatever you want. Drop that in the chat. I want to see what you are going to pick. Coming in. Julia Maura, I can see your question. Where do we download the worksheet? I'm going to give you the link shortly, yeah? So let me know in the chat. Do you want to go for 1C or 3M? Thank you very much. Oh, I can see Mohammed will go for 1C. Yes. Okay, Mohammed, 1C. The rest on YouTube or LinkedIn. Let me see if I can get the comments here from LinkedIn. Is it 1C or 3M? 1C, 3M, 1C, 3M. At least I have one person going for the 1 cent that doubles every day. I want to see if I can get one person who goes for 3M, and then we can compare and see how the two goes. Julia Moura, you're saying 1C. Nancy Dala, you're going for the 1C. Okay, good. Eric, you go for the 3 million that I can invest. That is very good, yeah? So at least I have Mohammed here with 1C, and I have Eric with 3 million. So let's see how this works out. It's okay. Don't worry. I understand. So here's the thing. And this is the big lesson that I want to teach you today. On day 1, Mohammed has 1 cent and Eric has 3 million, partying like a rock star. He goes and invests, as he says. For Mohammed, it doubles. Day 5, he has 0.1 cent, not even a shilling. On day 10, it has doubled to 5 shillings and 12 cents. I don't know. What can you buy nowadays with 5 shillings in today's economy? Yeah. Then on day 20, it has gotten to 5,000. On day 29, this is where the things start happening. It gets to 1,343,000. It doubles. On day 30, it becomes 5,368,709 shillings. And on day 31, it becomes 10,737,000. Yes, 3 times. So here you can see Mohammed, who picked 1 cent, has ended up with 3 times what Eric had picked. That is 10 million. Even if you go and decide and invest, where are you going to get that kind of return within 31 days? This is how it looks in form of a graph. It looks like a flat is a flat line. But then on day 23, 24, this is where things start changing, and they start going up and going up and going up. Whatever is happening between day 4 and 5 is the same thing that is happening between day 27 and 28. It's just doubling. The difference is 27 between day 27 and 28 would not have been possible if the person gave up on between day 9 and 10 and said, oh, this thing does not work. The point here is, it is the small choices that you make that will make the big difference. It is the small choices that you make that will give you the biggest difference. Eric, hopefully you have learned a lesson there. And this is what we call the power of the compounding effect. The compound effect. It keeps on compounding. And there are so many applications in life. I'll tell you this. Remember the example I gave of exercising. You might say 10 sit-ups every day. That doesn't make sense. You can do that day 1, day 2, day 3, 1 week. You haven't lost a pound. They do that 3, 4, 5 weeks. By the time you're getting to how many, like 3 months, that would be like 12 weeks. You can start seeing the difference. But it will not be possible if you gave up. And the difference becomes exponential. It goes up, way up. And there are so many areas of our lives that applies. Not only finances, even looking for a job, even going up. So as I finish up, allow me to finish up now, the next few minutes, by inviting you to join what I call the DM Insiders 2024 Accountability Group. This is a personal group that I am creating to help you be accountable for your 2024 goals. According to the Center of Creative Leadership, they found out 5 ways for fostering a culture of accountability. Will be number 1, giving somebody support. I want to hold you accountable for the goals that you will set for yourself for 2024. And what I'll do as I create that accountability culture, number 1, I'll support you. And I'll share with you how I'll support you. I'll provide you with freedom to do whatever you feel you need to do to accomplish your goal. I will share with you more information. This is just the tip of the iceberg, whatever I've shared with you. Hopefully that information was useful, but there's still more. I will provide you with resources that you need, books, worksheets, training, coaching, and I will help you get clarity in terms of your goal. By the way, that is the most important thing. When you create clarity as we start, then the rest falls into place. So I want to invite you to join what I call the DM Insiders 2024 Accountability Group. And this is my own personal group that, number 1, I'll teach you and train you on how you can do weekly reporting of your goals and get closer to your goal every week. For those of you who have are in my DM Insider group, you have seen how I do weekly reporting. I report every week on my progress. I'll show you the template. I'll make it so easy for you to do the weekly reports so that you can be able to see the progress. By the way, this is not for people who think it's an easy going. You have to do the work. I'll teach you how to do that. Number 2, we will be having weekly or monthly check-in meetings. We can do a monthly check-in meetings with the rest of the group so that we can provide that support and share information. I will be holding regular Q&A sessions across the year. So whenever you feel or people feel like there's a specific thing they want answers on, we'll do the regular Q&As. If you find a compatible person, I can be able to buddy you up so that you can be able to have an accountability buddy that you can always have that accountability conversation with. And then I'm going to provide you with one-on-one coaching. And this is like a session every month if you want to take advantage of it. Those are 12 sessions. And all it's going to cost you is only 10,000 Kenya shillings. Imagine placing a bet on yourself, like 1,000 every month, and say, this is what I am going to put on the line to be able to achieve my goals. So this is a call for a very special group, a small number of people. And if you want to get started, by the way, we will be starting off tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is 5th. So at least by tomorrow, you can make payment by M-Pesa. That is my own personal line. If you make the payment right now, I'll be able to see it on my phone and I'll add you into the group. I need about 5 people, not so many, so that I can be able to provide you with one-on-one coaching, and I can help you accomplish your goal. So that is my call to action for you. Are you really considering it? Now, I know there's someone who asked, where do we get the book, the workbook? So you don't necessarily need to join the accountability group to get the value. You can still download this book right here. So, or you can write this down. Just go to careerpoint.co.ke/free book. There, you just put in your name, email address, and voila, you download right away. You get the book, you start filling in the questions, and you can review it any time of the year. So that is the first avenue you can be able to get value. But if you want to go deeper, I would still encourage you to join this group, the accountability group. In the accountability group, I'll give you more resources. I talked about more resources. You'll get access to the book, The Compound Effect. You'll also get access to the book, The 12-Week Year. And this is where actually I learned how I can break down my year into 4 quarters, and every 12 weeks I can assess my progress. You'll also get access to the book, Your Best Year Ever by Michael Hyatt. And then you will get a physical book that is the Blueprint for Success. By the way, this is a book that I've written. I can check it right here. You will get a physical copy of, yeah, we are live. Added plans, yeah. This is the book. Let me try come closer so that you can see me. Yeah, the book Blueprint for Success, Guaranteed Steps to Achieving Anything. So this one you get a physical copy. And for you to get all this value, I would encourage you to join the PM, that is Daniel Mutuku Insiders 2024 Accountability Group. So take action right now. If you're there, I will just see if any M-Pesa comes in. That is my own personal line, and this is not going to be here for long. As I told you, this is a 1-year program. You will not get this anywhere else. This is me showing, number one, how do you become accountable to your own self to a point where you're able to do weekly reports on your progress. It's an easy framework. I'll give you a template and you'll see the progress. We'll have monthly check-ins, regular Q&As, accountability buddy, and even the biggest part is the one-on-one coaching session. One of my coaching sessions will range for about 5,000 to 10,000, one session, 1 hour session. But here you're getting 12 of them. Yeah, 12 of them. And we will not be accepting people in the middle of the program because it's a 1-year program. I want us to get close. I want us to get to a point where I can really, really support you. Is that okay? Are you getting value? Let me see if there's any question on LinkedIn. That's a great lesson. That was Rose Derito. Ben, you're saying 1 cent that doubles every day, or you are deciding on what you want to go for. 3 million. That was Jacinta Minor. Hopefully you have learned your lesson. Dennis, you went for 1 cent. Juliana Moura, you've gotten the link where you can be able to download the book. Good, good, good. This is very inspiring and informative. Thank you very much, Wasanga. I hope you're getting value. So I want to close it up and say this. The best investment you can ever have is to invest in yourself. I think there's someone who advised Eric. Can I get the name? I don't know if I can remember. And this is Warren Buffett who said, the best investment you can ever have is to invest in yourself, because this is where you will get the highest return on investment. It is said for every shilling you invest in yourself, you will get 30 shillings return over time. That is a 3,000% return on investment. Where else will you get such kind of investment? The other thing I also want to say, I learned this rule. It's called the 10-10 rule from Brian Tracy. And the general rule is, we have been brought up in a society where we take 10% of our income and we tithe it. Yeah. I want to put it to you. Why not take another 10% of your income and tithe it to yourself? Use it to fund your own personal development, because that is where you're going to get the highest return on investment. And this is just an opportunity for you to invest in yourself right now by joining the DM Insiders 2024 Accountability Group. Are you ready to join? Let me check. By the way, I'm here now, so I can just see if there is anyone who makes any payment and your I think there's one person. Yeah, Willie. Is it Willie? I'll confirm. Yeah, but a few number. It's not a numbers game. By the way, I'm not making money out of this, and I can even give you a bet. Yeah, you can pay the 10,000, and every month you do what I tell you need to do. I return for you your 1,000 shilling. I return until the end of the year. And if you're able to follow it through, you get your money back. But at least I have helped you achieve your goals. That is my intention. I'm really excited and happy to have you on board. Two more things I want to say. I learned this from Jim Rohn. Yeah. Do not evaluate something based on how much it costs, but evaluate something based on its worth. Not how much it costs, but how much or what is it worth. Because when you say, oh, that program is too expensive, that's a lot of money. Okay, it might be a lot of money for you, but what is it worth? Imagine at the end of the year, you achieving your top 3 goals that you have set for yourself. What will that mean for you? Why is it that important for you? And you can see the difference. Yeah. So don't evaluate something based on how much it is costing, but evaluate it based on how much it is worth. And for you guys, I know you have big goals, right? As you have those big goals, my challenge to you is let the size of your goal be equal to the size of the investment that you invest in yourself to achieve that goal. That is the only way you can be able to really see the difference as it comes to your life. Is that okay? So here's the last chance, last call to action. Take that number. By the way, don't call me right now, but you can call me during the day. This is my Safaricom line. You can just do M-Pesa, 10K, join in the program. My bet is if every month you do as I instruct, you go through everything, you get your 1,000 back. You get your 1,000 back. And that is you betting on yourself. Are you willing to bet on yourself? Join me now. Tomorrow is the deadline. Then we'll be able to start a group of 5 to 6 people. Actually, I don't want it to go beyond 6 so that we will be having hot seats. Oh, this is something I added here. We'll be having hot seats. And on the hot seat, at least I want you to be on the hot seat 2 times a year, asking you, what are your goals? What have you done? And I'll share how it goes. Yeah. So at least everybody will have 2 chances to go through the year. And I think that has been it. That has been my time. I really appreciate any question. I'll be happy to answer. And yeah, I can see 1 minute to 8:30. So we have 1 minute to go. That is Billy saying very informative. Oh, these are previous comments. Let me check if there's. So Deritu Rose, you're saying this is very informative. I really appreciate that. Any question? If you found value, by the way, give me a thumbs up. If you found some value, give me a thumbs up. If you're not around Kenya, if you don't know what M-Pesa is, don't worry. Just drop me an email, daniel@careerpoint.co.ke, and I'll get in touch with you and I can see how I can support you because it's something that cuts across the whole world. We can do this on Zoom or whichever platform. Get the book, careerpoint.co.ke/free book. Get that workbook for free right away. That's okay. I think that has been my time. It is exactly 8:30. I like keeping time. Let me see if there's any question here. I think that is it. That is it. That is it. Otherwise, I really appreciate your time. If you found value, let me know. But then give me some thumbs up. Share it. Like. That's the only way I can know that you're there and you're getting value out of this, right? And until next time, as I normally say, I'm out.